my channel. Today I am super excited about this new collection from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the new Riviera Collection. I was so excited about this collection, and not because the palette was like speaking to me, because you guys know that I am not like into colors. Like, colors can be a little bit intimidating to me, but I just loved the entire theme of this collection. The whole boat theme. I'm not gonna wear the hat throughout the entire video, but I had to throw the hat on. It's like making me want to go out on the beach. It's making me want to go out on the ocean. This whole collection just screams beach to me. So when this collection launched on the Anastasia Beverly Hills website, there was this kit. So it has this super cute beach ball, it has the super cute tote, and it has the palette and the water bottle. So I bought that kit. I love it. This is what the water bottle looks like. And this was $70. I know, it was really silly, but I wanted all of it. When everything launched and I went on the website and I seen this kit, I was like, oh my gosh, I want that kit so I can take it to Florida with me. My family, we always go to Florida for a month during the summer for vacation, and we stay right on the beach in our condo, and I knew I wanted all of this stuff to take with me. So I bought the entire kit, which I'm absolutely obsessed with. I think it's so cute. And all of this is really decent quality. Like, it's better quality than I thought it was gonna be. It really is. And then obviously the star of the show is the palette. And the palette is encased in this gorgeous box. Oh my gosh, you guys. Like, I can't even tell you how beautiful it looks sitting inside this gold box. The colors, everything was so well thought out, and I just love this. I love it so much. So with the collection, I also bought a highlighter in the shade. I also bought the loose highlighter in the shade So Hollywood, and then I also bought the Dewy setting mist, because you guys know I'm all about a dew. So I'm looking pretty extra dewy through the camera right now. My skin's really reflecting off of the lights, but in real life it just looks very hydrated, and I love it. So the Riviera palette retails for $45 on the Anastasia Beverly Hills website, and the kit that I bought is currently out of stock, but the palette is still available, and I love the feeling of this palette. I love it so much. It's so different, and I love the feeling of it. It kind of feels almost like Levi-ish, almost kind of has that feeling, but it's awesome. Like, they did a great job on the packaging. This is what the palette looks like on the inside. Very, very colorful. And it looks a lot different in real life than I thought it was going to. Even though I'm not really into colors, and colors can be a little bit intimidating for me, but I am going to do 2 different tutorial looks using this palette. Also got the highlighter. Now, this highlighter, you can actually get 3 different shades. Sunset Aurora, which is a rose gold, So Hollywood is a gold, and Snowflake is a silver. And I actually chose the gold, and later on, I applied on the face so you guys can see how it applies. It's exceptionally pigmented. These retail for $25 each. I only picked up 1. And the Dewy Setting Mist. Now, the packaging is extra sparkly on the outside. There are no sparkles inside the formula, so it's only on the packaging. This retails for $26. This is a coconut vanilla scented setting spray that seamlessly blends products together as it sets makeup, leaving the complexion with a dewy, never oily, radiant finish. This gentle mist is ideal for those with dry skin or those who want to achieve the ultimate glow. So that's what we're playing with today. That's what we're reviewing. We are gonna go and have fun playing with this Riviera palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And without further ado, let's jump right into the first tutorial. Then we'll do a second tutorial, and then I'll come back and swatch the palette and then give you guys my full final thoughts on the palette. So I will see you guys then. I bought the Dewy Setting Mist, yes, because you guys know I'm all about the dew. I am actually testing out a foundation right now. I've been waiting for this to come. I have no highlighter on. I'm feeling a little naked. So this is the loose highlighter, and the packaging is absolutely gorgeous on this. It's so beautiful. So I got it in the shade So Hollywood. So it has one of those like pull tabs. Come on. Okay, this thing is hard to get off. Oh my gosh. I need some like tweezers or something.
5 minutes later.
Finally, I got it. I got it. I got it. Oh shit, no I don't.
2,000 years later.
This is like like so hard to get off, you guys. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm not going to pull this all the way off only because there's no like turn twist thing to kind of close it up and lock it up. Ooh, it's a beautiful gold. Ooh, that is really pretty. That's pretty. And it's not like super duper glittery. That's really pretty. I just have it down inside the cap and I'm just gonna put some here on my fan brush. Ooh, these are soft. Oh, hold on. Okay, I might have too much on, so I'm gonna wipe my brush off and then I'm gonna go in and see if we can just kind of blend it onto the skin. Very soft texture to them. So let's put some on this side. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, it's crazy pigmented. For me to get the best application, I like have to put it on and then I have to wipe the brush off and then go back in and just kind of really blend and melt that into the skin. So let's take out the Dewy Setting Mist. The lid looks somewhat similar to this one, the MAC Fix Plus, where it kind of clicks and locks. So this one is very similar. So let's see how the spray is on this. Oh, okay. That's a nice spritzer. Ooh, and it smells hella good, you guys. Okay, so I got a little bit of dots, you know, like where it's a little bit, like the spray is a little bit much, but that made me extra dewy, didn't it? Now I'm going to get comments that I look like an oily mess, which I am never mad at. I really like that spray. I really like it, and it's just like that flush of yumminess. So yeah, if you like dewy setting mists, this one is, I like this one. I really do. The spray comes out a little bit much and you kind of get a little bit of those dots, but they kind of melt into the skin. It's not like you can see it sitting on the skin, if that makes sense. So I like this. Right now I'm reviewing a foundation that is really light coverage, but it's a little bit more on the powdery side. So I'm okay with, you know, spraying something like that on just to kind of melt it into my skin. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started on an eyeshadow look. Now, I know that there's so many looks out there using like the pinks and the purples and stuff. I kind of want to keep it a little bit maybe more peachier and maybe use that seashells shade. I think it's so beautiful. I actually used to pronounce that Seychelles, like forever. I called it Seychelles. And then I realized, no, it's seashells. Seychelles. I don't know. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to start with this brush from the Sonia G Pro Eye Set. I'm going to go into the shade Palm, which is the dark brown. And I've already set my eyeshadow primer. And so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of create this little line. I'm going to use a brush like this. This one's from Morphe. It doesn't have a number on it. I'm just kind of carving that out. Just kind of giving me a base. And then I'm just going to kind of start buffing that into my crease. I'm going to switch to the pencil brush and I'm just going to start kind of blending this out. And then with that brush, I'm going to go into the shade Coastline, and I'm going to pop that right over top. That shade looks brown in the pan, but it's actually more purplish. Now I'm going to do a cut crease, and I'm going to take a little bit of my P. Louise eyeshadow base. With that same brush, I'm going to go into that Seashells shade. I've got it here on the brush, but I am going to wet that down. Okay, I've just gotten fallout, so just be careful. I kind of feel like this is definitely a palette that you probably need to do your eye makeup before you do your face makeup, because this is, you're going to get fallout with this palette. This shade is really pretty though. So now I'm going to take my finger and just really press that over top and give it that like foiled look. I'm going to take the brush that came in the palette and I'm going to go into the shade Coastline, and I'm going to kind of pop that right here and just kind of bring that out a little bit more. For the outer corner, I'm going to go back into this brush and I'm going to go into that shade Palm, and I'm going to pop that right here on this outer corner. That's definitely like an eggplant purple, so just FYI. It's a really pretty color. It just looks brown in the pan, but it's definitely more of an eggplant shade. I think I'm gonna go into that shade Cabana. It's like that mustardy yellow shade. And maybe pop that over top. It's like missing something and I can't figure out what it's missing. Yeah, that like really kind of melted. I'm gonna put that on the outer corner as well. And I'm just taking a small stubby brush. I'm going into the shade Palm and I'm basically just kind of carving that out. So I went ahead and cleaned up my concealer, and now I'm gonna do the lower lash line and kind of connect everything together. So I'm just going to take a pencil brush and I'm going to go into the shade Coastline. And then I'm going to go into Palm and keep that real close to the lash line. But I think I want to bring that really pretty blue down on the lower lash line. I'm going to take the brush that I applied it with on the lid and I'm going to go into Seychelles and I'm going to wet it down. Stick it right here. Oh, that's so pretty. Yes. That's exactly what I was wanting it to look like right there. I'm going to go back to the pencil brush. I'm going to go into Coastline and dip a tiny bit into Palm and like fade that into it just so that it kind of blends like it does on top. For inner corner, there's really not a shade to put. I mean, I guess we could try going into the white to see what it does. So I'm just going to take this brush. This is the JH39 brush from Morphe. And it's really white, so I don't know. We'll see what it does, but ooh, damn, that's a pigmented white shade, you guys. Holy shit, skis. That's white. I'm gonna wipe the brush off and try to like feather that in a little bit. She's white, she's pigmented. So I think I'm gonna grab my Sultry palette and I think I'm gonna grab the shade Pearl. This one right here. And I'm going to go over top of that white shade and just give it some shimmer. Okay, so this is the final look, and for the lip, I just decided to do kind of like a peachy brown type gloss because I felt like I had so much going on the eye. I didn't want to like overwhelm the lip. So I just threw this on. This is from ColourPop and I Love Sarai collaboration. This is in the shade Glass Lip, and it's just from their ultra glossy lips. I like this look, even though it's definitely way out of my comfort zone, just as far as the colors and this really pretty blue on my eye. It looks gorgeous, but this is definitely way out of my comfort zone. But I do think it turned out really, really pretty. So this is it for look number 1. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and let's jump straight into look number 2. Okay, so let's start with tutorial number 2. I am just going to jump straight into it. So I'm going to grab this brush from the Sonia G Pro Eye Set. This is the Crease Pro. Now, I've already done my brows. I've done a little bit of foundation, but I haven't put any concealer or blush or anything like that on because I just want to clean up afterwards. So I'm definitely doing the eye look first. So let's go into the shade Monte Carlo, and I'm gonna like brush this into my crease. It's such a pretty shade. It's just a nice soft pink. It's really pretty. So I'm going in for a second time just to build up that shade a little bit. I mean, these are definitely kind of colors that are out of my comfort zone, but they're so, I mean, these are blending so nicely. For being like a really colorful type palette, like these are nice. I like that. I'm gonna switch brushes, and I think I'm gonna go into the shade Bahamas. And it's that really bright pink. It's like a neon pink. And I'm gonna like start tapping this into the outer corner. And I think I'm gonna take that on the inner corner as well. So I'm just like gently placing that right there on the inner corner. By the way, I'm using the Builder Pro brush. I'm going to bring that right below. I'm going to kind of carve out the crease with that shade. Now, even though that's like a really hot pink shade, it's blending really good and I'm not getting any fallout. So I kind of, you know, that shade is kind of surprising me. So now I'm going into Monte Carlo, and I'm going to pop that kind of over top of the neon just to soften it up a little bit, because it's just like really bold and I want to soften it up, but I also want to keep the pigment. Now I'm going to wipe my Builder Pro brush off, and I'm going to go into the shade Cans. I'm going to pop this like right over top of that hot pink, and kind of being gentle with it because I really don't want to like overtake that pink with that really pretty purple, but I also want to bring the purple and like introduce it into the pink. Now, if you want to go into the inner corner and you're having a hard time getting in there, I suggest tilting your head and then go in and stick it into that inner corner. It is sometimes harder to get into those small crevices of the eye. So if you just tip your head to whatever corner you're trying to get into, it will really help. These are actually less messy than I thought they were going to be. Like, I thought I was going to get a lot of fallout with that, and I just have not gotten that. I mean, I haven't gotten any fallout. So I'm going to take this brush, and I've already just wiped it off if there's no powder and shadow on it, and I'm just going to go in and just blend everything out. And I kind of want to get rid of that sharp line. I don't know how that happened, but it did. Okay, for the lid, I'm trying to decide which one I want to do out of these two. So I just grabbed, this is Seaside, which is so pretty, and then this one is Mediterranean. Let's do Mediterranean first. Let's put Mediterranean on. Okay, so that's officially my favorite shade in the palette. That shade is absolutely beautiful. I'm just going to take a brush and just kind of blend that in to the lid, kind of fade that into the lid and into the look. So pretty. Okay, so now I'm going to grab this brush and I'm going to wet the shadow down. So I see, it seems like you get the most fallout from the shimmer shades. Like the matte shades don't really have a lot of fallout, but the shimmer shades do. So I'm just like perfecting this where I want that shade to be most vibrant. Okay, now I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to go into Seaside and just like pop it right there. Right there in the middle. Yeah, just to give it that really bright effect. sense. All right, I'm gonna go into the shade Estate. I'm gonna pop this in the crease. And don't get me wrong, like that shade is not like hella pigmented, but it is a nice base to set down. This is my harder eye to do. I struggle doing shadow on this eye. Like, do you guys have an eye that's easier and harder? I really struggle with my left eye. My left eye is my hardest. And it's because I have to cross the brush over my face. So I feel like I don't get the best angle. Okay, now I've went into the shade Coastline. I guess I should have told you that. I'm just kind of messing around. Okay, so let's go into Cabana. It's a beautiful mustard shade. Okay, so now I'm going to take the Builder Pro and I'm going to go into the shade Coastline. And I'm really going to pack that here on my outer corner. Okay, so I'm going to just take a concealer brush and I'm going to go into the shade Yacht. And then I'm going to spray it down. Okay, so I thought that was going to be like a traditional, bronzy shade, but it's not. It's actually way different than I thought that shade was going to be. It's a beautiful shade. Okay, now I'm going to take a pencil brush and I'm going to go into Coastline. And I'm just going to like diffuse that line. That shade is so pigmented. Like for it being a really like peachy shade, it's crazy pigmented. And Yacht is absolutely beautiful. It's a prettier shade than I thought it was gonna be. Okay, so I threw on the rest of my makeup. Let's go ahead and finish the lower lash line and then I'll throw some lashes on and then we'll swatch it and I will give you guys my final thoughts. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a pencil brush and I'm gonna go into Monte Carlo. And I'm going to softly place this on my lower lash line. I'm going to go into Bahamas. And kind of keep that right on the lash line. I'm going to take a brush and I'm going to go into Mediterranean. Just the tip. And then I'm going to spray it. All right, now I'm going to wipe that pencil brush off and I'm going to go on the other side and I'm going to go into Coastline. So really quick before we get into the swatches, let me show you guys what I have on my lips. This is my favorite lip gloss during the summer. No, it's not my favorite. I have a few others that are my favorite. Let's just say this is like my top 5 favorite, just to make it easy. This is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is in the shade Saint Tropez and it is absolutely beautiful. The first time I seen somebody wear this was Jaclyn. It looked gorgeous on her big, beautiful, exceptionally beautiful lips. Like I love her lips, okay? But it looked so beautiful on her lips. Picked the shade up. I used it all summer long. I ran out of it. So I have one that's just laying around from my Sephora rewards. But if you're looking for a fun, beautiful, glossy lip for the summer, especially to go with this palette, I recommend this one from Anastasia Beverly Hills. The Saint Tropez shade is beautiful. I will leave a link in the description box down below. This is definitely one of my favorites and I feel like it goes literally with every shade in the palette. This gloss is very metallic, but it's such a comfortable gloss. So glides onto the lip. It's extremely pigmented. I mean, that's one swipe. So it is very pigmented. And it's so beautiful on the lip. I can't see enough great things about this lippy. So if you've been wanting to find a lippy to go with this palette, I highly recommend that one from Anastasia. Okay, so let's get into the swatches and then we'll head straight into my final thoughts. Okay, so starting from here, as you will notice, these are all of the top row. So as you notice, the only shade in the top row that's not a shimmer is this one, which is the white shade. But these are all the shimmer shades in the palette. And as you can see, they're very reflective, very beautiful. They're chunky, just like all ABH shimmer shadows are, but they're extremely reflective and absolutely beautiful. I love these shades. And then here's the matte shades. Now I struggled with some of the swatches on the matte shades only because I don't know if like my lotion on my skin was kind of like mixing in with it, but so I apologize for the swatches of the matte shades because they definitely did not work out. But I definitely wanted to show you guys what the colors look like. Okay, so let me get into my final thoughts. Now, I will say, as you will see, I used my ring finger to swatch the purple and it stained my finger. So I would say watch out for Bahamas and Cans because both of those shades will probably stain your eyelid. Like I do, you know, I didn't go in too hard. It's probably different than swatching, but just know that if you go to wipe your makeup off and it doesn't come all the way off, I recommend maybe using some kind of like eye makeup remover to see if that will help lift it. But, you know, there might be an issue with staining. It just depends on your eyelid. Let me just say this. Colors are very hard for me. I'm very intimidated by colors. You guys know that. I've been very honest about that. But I do feel like this palette is very fun. Do I think that I will use it all the time? Probably not. I do think this palette is for that person that just loves color. I think it's also very unique as far as just the shades that they chose for the palette. I do feel like this might be a palette that I will want to mix with other palettes because I feel like the one thing that it's lacking is like a neutral brown shade, but you can pull it from all of your other palettes. So I can understand why they didn't include that in this palette, just because they wanted to make every shade unique. And so can you pull a look together with only using the palette? Absolutely. But if I was going to use this palette again, I would probably use these shades with other palettes because I do feel like I was missing just a nice neutral brown shade to really blend with those peach shades. To me, it's the exact same formula as all the other ABH palettes, but I will admit, they're not as powdery. Like I didn't get quite the kick up that I normally get in my ABH palettes. But they're exceptionally pigmented. Like I didn't feel like there was a difference in the way that they applied on the eye. Very pigmented. You guys, that white shade is like a Jeffree Star white shade. I don't know if you guys have used the Blood Sugar palette. This white shade in this palette is just as pigmented as the white shade in the Blood Sugar palette from Jeffree Star's Cosmetics. Like that white shade in his palette was so white. And I did pop that on my inner corner. So that's the only thing that I have on the inner corner on this eye is just this white. On this side, I grabbed this shade, which is Seaside, and I felt like it was a little bit too dark for me. So I went ahead and put the white over top and it just brightened it up, but didn't fully take away that shimmery look. But I think the palette is very beautiful. I think it's super colorful. It's super fun for the summer. I love the packaging. I love the kit that I got with like the water bottle and the cute little toe and the beach ball and stuff. I'm living for all of that. I love the packaging on this, you guys. I love the packaging. This is such a fun collection from ABH. I just had so much fun playing with the last collection, which I will leave a link to that video right up here in the corner. I had so much fun playing with those 4-pan quad palettes, and I've used them several times since I reviewed them. And now we've got this. I'm like, oh my gosh. ABH just keeps bringing out such amazing fun stuff. So they're definitely stepping up the game. This is, in my opinion, the most colorful palette that ABH has ever done. If you love color, you will love this palette. You will love it. That's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you guys again for all the love that you guys show me and this channel. It truly means the world to me. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day filled with love and happiness. I will see you guys right back here tomorrow at 11 a.m. and I love you guys so much. Bye.